just don't get it, Steve.
I know. I don't expect you to.
I just can't, like, there's part of it, it's in everything, and it's not even like, I don't know, I think it's, like, I've genuinely spoken briefly that anybody who rolls cigarettes, I don't trust. Because you can't, you're so exposed.
I used to roll all my cigarettes.
Exactly, and you're, I'm not going to say it's family friendly now, but, fuck! Yeah, like I can't understand how you could just you could be so arrogant about your own security that you're just like, I'm gonna show the world that my hands are busy and my attention is taken away from the outside world.
It's not arrogant, it's confidence.
It's arrogant. It's confident. It's confident if you feel like there's a real security. It's arrogant to think that you're completely secure.
But am I insecure doing that in my own front room?
Yes. Because you think that no one can get to you from your front room. I can get to you. You always got to be switched on. It's my brain.
So you're always switched on?
I'm always on.
In everything.
I don't trust these chair arms. They go left and right for some reason.
You can put them down if you want. There's little triggers underneath them.
Triggers? They got buttons on it.
On the bars. On the
they're
bar
locked
that connects at the top.
I'm not exposing myself to it. I'm not that arrogant, Steve. I've locked them so they don't move side to side anymore. But why would anybody want that?
No,
Again, your attention's distracted.
Thoroughly uncomfortable.
I am.
I'd rather be uncomfortable than unprepared.
Well, no, I'm uncomfortable because of how insecure this is. You need to be safe.
Just pull the fucking trigger.
Why has it got a trigger in it?
So they'll block.
Ugh. Some people just don't know how to sit
chair.
down. I like sitting down. I preferred sitting down when my arms could go up and down.
You don't have to move them up and down.
Oh, God. Ugh.
It's there. Look where my finger is. There you go.
What's the point? No, I'm not like that. To make this world a better place? No. But yeah, it's my brain. I can't trust as much, and maybe that's what it is when you like. I like Heineken, because if I did that, I'm pretty sure I'd die. Like that's exposing yourself to another thing.
That's more. That's less of a like a peeve and more of a deep psychological issue.
I'm not disputing that, right? I don't even think it's paranoia. It's just you can't put yourself out there as much. Because this thing's Heineken will find you.
I never really thought I was putting myself out there.
By like
Heineken.
Is this another bit of information that someone knows about you? So then, they see you in a bar, they followed you to bars, we might order a Heineken.
Yeah.
So I'm going to spike all the Heinekens.
Yeah.
Do you not think?
I don't know.
But it's the same thing with fucking just everything. I mean, just genuine conversations with people. Well, I think we spoke ages ago. You had a get-together and you started talking about jazz. And I was just like, oh! This is like small talk.
Yeah.
It's like, oh!
Yeah.
So it's not... I don't think the world should think like I do. I just have to constantly live with the fact that I am who I am.
Yeah, but everybody does. That's not a unique perspective. Like,
oh yeah,
everyone's
got their own way.
Everybody's got their own way, and everybody's is different. It's just yours is
with necks
more different.
Not even. It's just I don't understand. I don't understand why you would buy a kettle with a neck and a temperature gauge, because my brain doesn't have time to consider those luxuries of what temperature is my boiling water. In order to pour over my coffee, I just go. I just need coffee. Or I just need caffeine. Can you not just eat coffee? That would be the ideal. That's utopia.
You can get caffeine pills.
No. I mean, just like spoonful of coffee.
Why?
Because if you get everything you want from that.
You don't get hydrated.
You don't get hydrated by coffee, apparently.
I think
it's
too much of it.
Hotly contested issue.
I think it's one of those things of like laws of diminishing returns, where you can drink
like
alcohol. Like you can drink like a pint, maybe 2 pints of alcohol, and then after that you start releasing more water than you're actually taking in.
Release.
Yeah.
Fair. Yeah, your brain just goes.
I think it's the same with caffeine.
Well,
because it takes a lot of water to process it.
It takes water to process coffee.
No, it takes water to process caffeine, and more so than you're actually taking in with the
Process
caffeine.
it, as in just like dilute it into your... Water it down.
I guess, yeah.
These arms are ridiculous.
Just spin around and get rid of them. There are arms on the other chair.
Yeah, but he's clacky, isn't he? It's not going that far, but it's just the point is.
What's your point?
My point is, I don't understand.
I know
the luxury, the time you spend on luxuries such as liking things on Facebook, such as making coffee with the temperature.
Spend
gauge.
time on that.
I think you must have. 5 seconds, 3 seconds out of your day.
Is that a luxury?
Yeah. Dead people don't have 3 seconds. That's the definition of luxury. Can it be done by the dead? No, luxury. You luxurious bastards. Yeah. Anyway, how's your week been?
It's been
temperature gauge kettle gooseneck prick.
It's been
we're
good.
Friends.
It's been good. I handed over editing duties to you this week because I've been stupidly busy. Went on a school shoot on Wednesday. You got to be careful how you say that.
Yep. Successful.
Which I've been told several times now. Careful.
Okay.
Like
that joke's been made.
Yeah. No, it went really well. Kids are kids are fun. And I'd never really had fun with kids before.
Yeah, you have said previously on podcast episodes that you hate kids.
Well, I don't know how to interact with them, but it turns out if you force me to interact with them for an entire day, then I'd start getting used to it. And it's also the separation between the years was interesting. So it's like as I progressed through the years talking to different kids, you pick up different ways that you have to talk to that year group and everything like that. And then you get to I got to year 6 and I was surprised that like they were reading out like all this English work that they'd written and stuff. And it's just like, oh, okay. I'm pretty sure like I must have like been like writing like that at some stage, and it's actually quite adult for a 12-year-old. Like like I guess I'd missed like I had no perspective on the actual vocabulary that you've developed at that stage.
Yeah.
And I was talking to these kids like adults, and they're just good kids, really curious, and because I was walking around with the fucking the DJI all day, looking like the Terminator, so they were just like entirely interested. And yeah, it was a really positive experience. I actually really liked it.
It's weird when you think like the topics you cover in primary school are pretty adult, like Great Fire of London. Look at all those people who died. But luckily it solved the Black Death. So it's just kids just traumatized. And then, they're having to report like stuff like, was it Samuel Pepys or Thomas Percy or somebody wrote a diary during the Great Fire of London. That's what sparked that memory. So they're probably reading all this adult shit. Yeah. That you don't really read when you're an adult unless you go specifically into that field. Yeah. So I mean, it's a weird part of life.
It's unreal looking at it now, thinking back to like my primary school days and now looking at theirs and seeing like how much they actually have to do. Yeah. Like and I know there's been a lot of arguments about like, oh, exams are getting easier, but then I read other stuff that's like, actually, no, people are just getting smarter. Like the exams that you did, like when you were in school, we would have pissed through that, like based on what we're taught now. And it makes sense because over generations, the entirety of human knowledge progresses and gets larger and gets more kind of widely spread. Like it makes sense
access to information.
It makes sense that we're getting smarter, particularly in a world where we're not so dependent on kind of brute force and brute strength, where it's actually kind of your brain that gets you ahead now. So it makes sense that's something that's progressing.
There's just more doors open as well.
Yeah.
I mean, just take podcasts for example. Like if you were you a Kevin Smith fan growing up?
Yes.
I seem to remember that being a thing.
I think from when I was like 14 maybe.
Yeah, so then you go like, oh, you would have like seen some of his shows, maybe saw some of his films. I mean, and maybe seen a few interviews. But if like at that age you had access to a podcast of his inner consciousness, where he's talked every week, and then introduce you to more and more stuff, and you're like, oh no, actually, this is really interesting. And then you, because you enjoy it and you're interested in it, you're like, oh yeah, go through it more and more. Same with YouTube, like Mythbusters, if you're into science and testing stuff and whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a show. Oh, I can look into that. Oh, there's so much more of it now. That I think it's just people just got more opportunity, I guess, to get engaged.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember that it wasn't part of the curriculum, but on an open day for the school, I think it was an open day, our drama class just beat up a kid just as like a social experiment. Like it was all.
We all get smarter. Yeah.
It was just an. It was just like we were all in the class together, so we were just like, let's do a social experiment of us beating up Carhill, I think his name was.
Yeah.
And it was like, we'll see if anyone gets involved.
Oh, right.
And we were like,
okay.
oh, we'll see. And that would be like
was he
thing.
in on it?
Yeah.
Right, okay.
But it was like,
Like, what?
Yeah, and it was just whenever people came past, it would just like do more aggressive stuff.
Right.
Obviously, he was fine throughout the whole thing.
Yeah.
But then like a teacher came out and said, guys, this is really out of character for you. Why are you beating him up? It's like, oh no, it's a play. The teacher was like, what the fuck is wrong with these kids? I mean, this is an open day. We want to attract people in, not be like, hey, come to this.
Did it on an open day?
At like 6 p.m. It was like dark in winter. It was outside the drama studio, just like, bullying. They're pretending to bully this kid, see if anyone intervened. Meanwhile, they're like, I'm not sending my kid to this school.
Something to be fucking do.